You're listening to RTI Audio, powered by Rocky Top Insider. This is Pancakes and Bacon with VFL, Kyler Kerbyson, and Reed Bacon.
Hello, Vol Nation. Welcome to another episode of Pancakes and Bacon. I'm your host, as always, Kyler Kerbyson, joined with Reed Bacon. Got another great one. I think the Vols won the bye week. So we will talk all about that. We're just going to jump into everything college football. A little bit of news about opponents coming up. So it'll be a fun episode. If you guys are watching, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. If you're just listening, rate and review, download, re-download. Follow us on all those listening platforms. Also, follow us on social media. Description is below. Before we jump into college football week, Reed, how we doing, bud?
Kyler, yellow. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm a little congested. I think something's there, just to change the seasons a little bit in there.
Yeah.
But besides that, we're doing good.
You don't think it had to do anything with you getting a little rambunctious this week?
I mean, it could have. It definitely could have. I don't know if the alcohol took down my my immune system some to fight those things. But yeah, no, that could have been it. Could have been the yard work yesterday, but maybe it's a combination of all of it.
Yeah, we are getting older. And speaking of this time of year mowing and all the dust comes up from either like the dead, I guess it's probably just leaves and some dead stuff that's there and then you run over it. But I just feel like I get so much of that. And then yesterday I wasn't even mowing, but I got up on the roof, cleaned some gutters, cleaned some stuff out, chopped some like overhanging trees down. And I just felt myself just sitting there just,
yeah,
just getting it out. Just a massive, massive snot rocket. Sorry for the grossness, but yeah, but I was lucky. I mean, after that and I showered, it went away. But I got a couple buddies, man. We were on Xbox Live last night after the games, and they were sounding rough. So it's that time of year.
Yeah, it's just I clipped hedges yesterday, and I could just like see shit just like up in the air. Like, damn.
You're just like, damn. I'm done.
I was like, I should have a mask on. Fuck.
So, hey, honestly, this time of year, I think about putting a mask on when I'm mowing, and I just cannot bring myself to be that guy wearing a mask mowing the yard, which I should, but, because I have them in my truck for whenever I do like a grosser job, which I guess is a good segue to we were sponsored by Bacon Junk Removal.
Literally your job. You should probably wear a mask a lot of the time. You have no idea what's in them places.
Yeah. No, I've always got gloves on. I wear a lot of long sleeves. Do have my mask on, but masks are so annoying to wear sometimes, but I'm definitely a germaphobe.
Really are.
I don't want to breathe that stuff in, but Bacon Junk Removal, the Lord continues to bless us. The phones keep ringing. Great people to work for. Met some awesome people, and I'm just super thankful. And if anybody has any need, reach out to us. And I think it also ties into. I was thinking about it, Kyler, and I was responding to some of the comments on the YouTube page, which I try to do when I can, but I just get busier, and so it's harder to do. But, I guess we're year 5 into this. Our goals have changed for what we want out of things as we've started this. But to still see the people come through and then say how much they enjoy it and appreciate it and all those things, it's I'll never take it for granted. 5 years in, never take it for granted. So I appreciate everyone that supports us. But anyways, Kyler, if you don't have anything else that you want to share about your weekend, I would love to hear your thoughts on college football. And then I'll get this quote ready.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple games that if they didn't happen, I don't know how exciting this week would have been. but on the good side of things, I don't know. Like, we didn't necessarily have any of our foes go down, but I do think that some of the games shed light on guys. Like the Alabama Vandy game was pretty big. That was a big watch.
Yeah.
Alabama scored late to make it look like it's a little bit more than it was, but that was close. That was close most of the game. And I just think it's so hard to tell if both of these teams are good or both of these teams aren't good or where they actually sit. I mean, Vandy was still pretty capable besides the mistakes. I mean, the fumble, the interception. They're still moving the ball on that Alabama defense. And then, man, Alabama's offensive line, what in the run game was just opening up alleys all over the place versus that Vandy D. And I don't know if that means that Vandy defensive line isn't that great, but it definitely makes me think like that's not our strong point on defense. So very much when I see that and I see the Alabama offensive line and like their strong point isn't pass pro. You know what I mean? Like they're letting up sacks, they're letting up pressure, but man, can they run the ball? So I look at that. I'm, a little nervous, a little worried about that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun game to watch. I said it last night talking to some of the guys when we were online playing, and I just don't think there's a really, really good team. There's definitely not a great team in college football. I don't even know if there's a really, really good team. There's good teams, but it just feels
the
like
only ones that have an argument are the Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami.
But see, someone said that last night about Ohio State, and I was like, does Ohio State, like, do we just give them the benefit of the doubt because they won the national championship last year? Like, what have they done that's been impressive? That Texas win is not impressive. I mean, it was at home, and Texas is not good. They haven't been good all year. They go to Washington and beat Washington, but I don't know anything about Washington. I didn't even see them play a snap of football. And then Oregon, you go and handle Penn State at Penn State. And I know you kind of handled that game, but then it ends up in overtime. But then we all saw what happened to Penn State yesterday. So
but I don't know if what happened to Penn State is a good litmus test to how good of a team they were when they played Oregon. Like I think a lot of that was up here.
And I agree with you. I'm fine with that, but I still think it holds serve that I'm not going to say I can never say Ohio State, Oregon, or Miami are great teams. I think they're probably just good teams right now, and I think everyone else is pretty good, but has flaws in certain aspects. But that makes it for exciting. You know what I mean? But it also makes it for It's a little scary, I would say, for Tennessee. I still trust Tennessee a lot. We'll get into it. I don't know. Can you add headers on this so that if we do end up talking about Tennessee, Arkansas, like can you add headers on our little site now that we've started?
I mean, I could go in and add another page. I could go edit.
Okay, I was just curious because I know we'll talk about Tennessee going into Arkansas, which, by the way, my quote ties into the Tennessee-Arkansas game.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear this or not, but
yeah, you're good. That's fine.
let's see.
Just a little P's and Q's here, folks. Just hang tight with us. Just give it a
Just a
second.
little P's and Q's. Reed wants to change it up on me real quick.
I should have said something before we started, but I wasn't thinking about it. Right? I guess I didn't see it. All right. So the quote. Nothing special to this quote at all. But I sure hope as a fan that they've done this. And I sure hope that this is not something that we do have to learn from it. So it's perfect, going into Arkansas, the Arkansas game of this year. Remembering what happened last year, Tennessee was flying as high as they could. I guess we were number 4 in the country, which we weren't the number 4 team at the time. But it's always really cool to see our name or to see that number beside it. And then you go in and you just play a horrendous game at Arkansas. Everything sets up for it. Hopefully we learn from our mistakes at Mississippi State. And it, like we've already talked about, everyone's mentioned, it's great to learn when you win. I'm not going to lie and say that the learning lessons are the exact same from a win or a loss, because I don't think that's possible. I think a loss just hits so much different than even a close win.
Yeah.
But I'll still take it. But going into this week, I just hope they learn from it, and we'll talk about that. But back to college football, week 6. I'm impressed, man. Like, I'll give Vandy their credit. Like, last year I was kind of like, yeah, okay, like, do you want to pop off and you're going to win a couple games, but then you're going to lose a couple games? It's like, all right, settle down. Like, you're still a 6-6 team. But like going into this year, like I'm impressed, man. They're hanging tough with people. They're playing well. I was impressed with their offense, impressed with their offense, impressed with their defense. Bama's not the Bama of old, but Bama is still a good, impressive, win if you beat
them hanging close with Bama and then like beating South Carolina pretty handily, beating Virginia pretty handily. It's like, okay, that's a different tier than where they're used to being.
Virginia Tech, but yes.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I agreed. And that's why, to tie this into Tennessee, like, I'm still not worried about that game because it is in Neyland. You will have to be prepared, and you're going to have to go, because that's going to be his Super Bowl at that point, no matter where their season is. That's Diego Pavia's, I guess, last game besides a bowl game. He doesn't probably have much of an NFL future. I mean, someone will pick him up and probably bring him into camp, but I don't see anything ever happening.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be a lot of things that tie into that game, but I still feel good about it with them here. But like you said a couple weeks ago, like, going to Bama now, you like, hey, Vandy played with them. Tennessee should be able to, but it's still going to be a tough game. So I thought Mississippi. I didn't watch any of the Mississippi State Texas A&M game. I planned on it because once again, I don't trust in Texas A&M. I think Marcel Reed is a good quarterback, but he's nothing special. I mean,
he struggles throwing the ball. I mean,
right,
he does.
Right.
It was 14-7 at halftime. Like,
right.
They were still struggling. They figured it out in the second half, but it was still there.
Exactly, which I was expecting. But you got Mississippi State coming off of a hangover of a tough loss to Tennessee at home, and then you got to go to Kyle Field, which is a tough place to play. But once again, like, A&M doesn't scare me if Tennessee like had to play them. So I'm trying to think of any of the other games. I mean, Miami, that's a good win by how it looked. I mean, Florida State was never in that thing.
Yeah.
In week 0 and week 1s, you notice that a lot of things change from those times. And so how much stock you put in if Florida State and Bama played again right now, I don't know. I'll tell you this much. I saw Jacoby Thomas pop back up on the screen again last night, and I was like, you know what? I think this year, at the end of this year, I might be eating my words for the first time since the transfer portal. And not that if Jacoby Thomas was here that we win or lose other games, but I can promise you I would love to have him back there with Idris Farouk compared to Andre Turrentine. And I always say, like, hey, good luck, man. Like, you're going to go there and you're not going to be as good as Tennessee. Well, as of right now, that's not the case. Miami,
Yeah, no,
he might have upgraded. And then, you know, not that I think Vandy's better than Tennessee, but like Jordan Matthews, I mean, he's at Vandy, and it's not the same old Vandy. It's not like you know what I mean? It's not like it was a massive downgrade for him to go from Tennessee to Vandy. So it's just, I think some of those things are things I noticed yesterday, seeing those names pop up. But then again, I have to remind myself we've gotten great. I mean, we got Colton Hood on our team from Colorado. You know how much Colorado would love to have him, and that's just one example. Yeah. That's just one example.
It'd kill.
They would, bro. Yeah. Whatever. Yesterday,
Florida, Texas.
Yeah.
So Florida turns it on somehow. Texas just doesn't look like an actual good team, but at the same time, like Florida has 3 losses. Like this is still a good win for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And their offense looked a little bit more clean.
Mm-hmm.
5 interceptions versus LSU last week. Like
2
big turnaround there.
Yeah.
And then their defense, like the D-line has been good all year. And I just think it continued to rear its head of like, hey, we're going to get after the quarterback, which I think they consistently have a good defensive line, no matter if they're bad or not. Of all the guys that come out of Florida, recruiting-wise, there's a lot of DNs and a lot of track stars.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. Even if they're not good, they're usually always going to have 1 or 2 good DBs, some good, fast, big linebackers, and a good D line. So I agree with you completely. It's still like you said, it's still a good win, even though I don't think Texas is very good. Arch is really, really struggling. The team's really struggling. You would have thought their defense would have been good enough, and there were still opportunities for Texas to beat even more in that game than they were.
Yeah.
I mean, you do see yourself as a Tennessee fan being worried about getting there to that game. You were going to hope that it had fallen. Yeah, exactly. And you would hope that it had fallen apart at that time. And kudos to Billy for getting this win, but they still got a ways to go before we play them. And like kudos to them. Like that was a good win. And dude, I don't know if you're a Texas fan, what you're thinking right now, like where you go up honestly, Kyler, if you're a Texas fan, do you sit there and be like, hey, Arch he wasn't ready last year, which is why Quinn Ewers played, which is the same thing for us. But we were like, man, Joe's so bad, but Nico's not playing for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We saw Nico play a full year, and, you're going to see Arch play a full year. And so if I'm a Texas fan, I'm like, well, damn, this sucks. We thought we maybe had a chance to win a national championship or go to the playoff. That's probably not the case, but you still got to ride with them the entire year to then see what you go into next year. Because if I'm Texas, I'm like, let's see what Arch has. He's still younger. Let's see how he develops. But if you're not happy with how he ends the season, you're just going to go get another 5-star. So,
I mean, transfer portal is a thing. It's like you can go get somebody. It's also like Texas offense and the way they run it is like more predicated on him and his ability to throw the ball. And it's like, if he can't, they can't go anywhere. And that's just not how Heupel had it last year with Nico. It was like, hey, I'm going to need you to do some things at certain times, but like, we're going to play good defense. We're going to run the ball really well. I'm going to get, easy plays to my playmakers.
Yeah.
And Texas kind of feels like if Arch isn't good, they're not good. And that's it's dangerous to put all your eggs in one basket,
Yeah.
Because I think they're in the exact same scenario we were last year with Nico being like, he sat out a year, here we go. He's supposed to step up. And then it was like we were winning games 19-14 and it wasn't, the explosion we wanted, but we end the season in the playoffs with the best defense, one of the best defenses in the country, and a SEC Player of the Year on offense as our running back.
Yeah.
So it's just like we were able to,
and you would
hug that line.
You would think Texas would be able to do the same because if Sark's as good as he's supposed to be, and if their athletes are supposed to be as good as the defense is supposed to be, or is as good as they were supposed to be, like you can still go win in Florida, even if it's ugly with some of the issues that they're having. So, yeah, man, I just we're in a real funny spot right now. Now, I'm very happy with where Tennessee is. I was almost said I couldn't be happier, but I could because Max Gilbert would have made the kick. But you just look at college football; it's been a really entertaining time this year, and yeah, I'm pumped with Tennessee. And one other thing before I move to talking about Tennessee and kind of where we're at now, and then going into Arkansas, did you see Nico's stat line? Like they won, but did you still see it? He only had 166 passing yards, but he ran for 128. Now he had a total of 5 tutties, but I really think for him, his legs are key. Which I know that's not going to be what gets him to the next level, which is what he ultimately wants. Because I mean, no one makes it in the NFL as a runner unless you're a one of one like a Cam Newton, which there's not any other Cam Newtons out there. But it was still funny to see. I mean, I can't stand Penn State, so I'm happy they lost, even though I was shocked by that because I was like, all right, James Franklin. He's going to try to run this muck up. I really thought that game would be like 63-10 because I thought that's what they do. Penn State.
UCLA hadn't led in a game all year.
Who?
UCLA had not led for a second of a game all year.
Yeah. And so going in, and that's the funny thing about sports. And there's always that bump once you fire the coach and, there's the rally around someone else or whatever. But it's just Penn State, like they never beat the big one of like Michigan, Ohio State, or Oregon, or I guess those are the main 3. But then when they play these bottom feeders, they go out and try to run up the score to make it look better. So I'm like, coming off a loss. I know that's a long flight out there, but James Franklin's going to try run this thing up. But they're just not that good of a team as people thought, because even a couple weeks ago, you were like, hey, man, like Penn State was in a dogfight with, whoever it was at halftime, and then they barely covered the spread. So, listen, it doesn't change anything or any factors for me about Nico and him as a player. I love watching Penn State lose. The only downfall for me yesterday was I lost money, or I had him a part of a teaser. So, but it still doesn't change anything. Okay, so we're let's see, where Tennessee is 4-1. How do you feel about so far for the first quarter of the season?
I mean, I feel good. Like you just said, it's not perfect. Like if Max makes that kick, we could arguably be in the top 5 right now.
Yeah.
Be undefeated. And we went into the season, both of us saying like we will probably lose the Georgia game, which ended up happening. But it was one where it wasn't the Georgias of old with Heupel. It wasn't, we scored the first touchdown, but then we don't score again for the whole game, or like we score one more time. It was getting out on them real, a lot. They fought back, we fought back, and then we had a chance to finish it. So, I mean, where this team sits, there's still a lot of things that I want to get cleaned up. I do not think this is like a perfect team right now in my eyes. Could they make the playoffs? Yes. Could they win the SEC? I don't know. And could they win a Natty? I don't think so. So I'm the closeness of these games worries me. The mental errors worries me. The just not executing, the dropping of balls, the poor tackling, that kind of stuff is like, hey, if we're in a big game, SEC championship versus another good SEC team in a Bama or or A&M or Georgia again, for all we know. Would we be able to pull that out? I don't know. I don't know. But could we squeak into the playoffs being a 10-2 team? Sure. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I think I'm there with you. Yeah, I really like this team. I'm happy with this team. I do get a little frustrated when we get run on. Mississippi State ran on us pretty well last year. I think that scheme just kind of messes with us. Unfortunately, I think Florida's scheme kind of messes with us too. Because every Florida game I've watched with Billy, he's been able to kind of keep our eyes going left to right.
They have a very good running back too. That number 13 for Florida is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but sitting here now, it's like, well, Joey's much better than I could have even hoped for. Chris Brazel's taking that next step, which is huge. Offensive line, awesome. I thought we'd be pretty good, but I was still worried. The line of moving together. So defensively, we've rushed the passer like I expected. We have not controlled the line of scrimmage in the run game like I had hoped so far. Backers, I don't know. I mean, I would say the backers are unfortunately probably they're fine, but I thought we would take in like one more step, like a little bit. Like last year, say if I thought we were like I'm just throwing out stuff now, but say if last year I was like, oh yeah, they were a C+, B-. This year will probably be A-. I think we're still in that B.
B+.
Yeah, kind of, exactly. And then I know we lost Ricky. I never really counted for Jamad coming into the season because I never knew when we would get him back. Safeties, I'm just a little frustrated with Andre Turrentine, but I don't know why. I expected him to take another step.
I mean, you expect everybody to take a little bit of a step. In the
I know.
It's like, what were you doing for 7 months?
Yeah, it's true. I know how you feel about the progression in the offseason. So, but overall, as I just sit and think about it, like I'm really happy. And I think I'm happy because of how the Georgia game looked, man. Like, we were able to score on them effortlessly, and we clutched up in certain moments, and the defense looked like they were about to get run out of the gym, but they bowed up and made stops and made plays. And yeah, we were a kick away or a overtime away from being undefeated. Not necessarily because it's Georgia, but just it's a big game, whether it had been, Georgia or Oklahoma or Alabama, or if we had some non-conference game on the schedule, that's a big game at the start. But man, I'm really happy, and moving forward as a Tennessee fan, even if the defense is not as good as I thought, the offense is way better than I expected.
Way better.
So I'm like, great, let's go compete. I don't feel like I did in 2022, man. 2022, after watching what we did to start that first quarter, that first half of the season, I mean, going into that Bama game, I felt so confident. I mean, that year I was like, let's play anybody because I don't think anyone can stop us. And so the defense, if you remember me talking about that year, I was like, yeah, the defense isn't great, but they've been good enough to make stops for us to win. And so we were just I just felt like we were playing with house money. We were playing confident. We were striking. And there's a slight little bit of that for me this year in a way. And so
it felt like going into the year that we were going to lean on the defense again.
For sure.
It was going to be a 2023, and now it's looking more like a 2022.
Yeah.
So it's a surprise, but it's still like it doesn't mean you're dead in the water.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm very happy with where we are, very pleased with everything. Like you said, there's still plenty of stuff to get better on, and makes me feel, pretty good that some of the stuff that you got to get better on it's doable in season. Like, hey, let's be a little bit stronger at the point of attack. Like, be a little bit more physical. Let's be a little bit better with our eyes. Let's work on our fundamentals. Like, that stuff is fixable. You know what's not fixable? When you're like, well, our offensive line's ass because we've lost our left tackle and our right tackle, and our best receiver got hurt. Like, all that stuff where you're just like in a really bad way. That's not
Let's
the case.
get on the jugs.
Yeah. Okay, Arkansas. Are you remotely worried about this game because they did go ahead and kind of hit rock bottom where they had to fire Sam? Now all these teams get that other little bump after their coach. Bobby Petrino is going to do anything and everything he can.
Yeah, that part of it, Bobby Petrino, he has been behind the scenes trying to make this happen for a long time. He thought he was let go from Arkansas and it didn't need to be that way. Like, he wasn't a bad coach. He got let go for cheating on his wife. Like, that's why he got let go. And it very much kind of leaned that his coaching is not the issue. Now he's here. This is his opportunity. Like, he is going into this balls to the wall. I want to introduce myself back again to everybody, show them that I'm a good coach, show them that they can hire me long term. And it's coming off a bye. He's going to have wrinkles that this team has not seen. That's a guarantee. He's going to have shit they have not seen. I would not be surprised if he did that little spread out stuff that who did?
Ryan Allen?
Yeah, South Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Or whoever we played. I can't remember. But
UAB.
That spread out stuff. I guarantee he'll throw that out there because he saw a couple plays where we didn't cover it well. He'll throw that out there. Arkansas's probably never ran it. He will probably run the quarterback a lot more because that is a strength of Taylor Green. Why not? His goal is to win. It's not to get any of these guys individual awards or show that they're great players. He's probably planning on bringing in more guys that he likes. So it's all about, like, how can I win the game? And that is a little scary. Like, that attitude as they come in. Now, their defense doesn't scare me at all when it comes to our offense. So I think our offense can still score a lot of points as long as guys catch the ball and make blocks on the edge. We will be fine. And then our defense versus our offense is going to be the big matchup. But guess what you got behind you? 100,000 people in Neyland. And that makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to be cautious going into this as a player, as a coach. I hope the coaches are kind of reiterating this after what LSU just did to Penn State, being like, they just fired their coach. They were the worst team in the country, and look what they just did. So don't think this team has given up. Don't think this team is rolling over. They're about to come in and try and show you something, because every single one of those guys wants to put good tape out.
Yeah.
You
said LSU, what they did to Penn State. You meant what UCLA. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree completely. It's definitely one of those spots that, like, some weird stuff could happen. But like I wrote on the board, like, I hope they learned from last year with how they handled the bye week. Because if I'm not mistaken, we had our bye week before we went to Arkansas, correct?
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, we had our bye week now. What did we clean up? How is the maturity of this team? How is the leadership of this team? And yes, it just makes you feel 1,000 times better that it's here in Knoxville. So that's a major plus. If this was on the road, I would be a little nervy. I did hear on the Sports Animal, I was listening to Sports Talk this week, that supposedly a lot of the defensive players were upset about them letting go of the defensive coordinator. So that's not ideal because we do know that Bobby Petrino is not a leader of men coach. He is an offensive-minded coach. So I don't know how that, but I still, as a fan, you worry about worst-case scenario, which is they all rally around. Like you said, they pull out all the stops and that. But saying that, I still feel like with being at home, as long as we do not shoot ourselves in the foot, I'm not saying we have to play perfect to win the game, but just don't give the game away with like 2 or 3 turnovers, maybe some bad penalties, maybe a drop touchdown, that, like that type of recipe. But I'm excited to see this team after a bye week and with what the wrinkles show or how they respond to some of the wrinkles that Bobby brings in. So
Yeah. I mean that is something big too. I don't know if people understand that on a team. Like the defensive guys are like, hey, I want to keep this coach. Like this is still a good coach. And Bobby comes in as like, I'm making changes already.
yeah,
It's almost like, well, I mean, you're an interim head coach. Like you're
Yeah.
not the head coach. It's like hold your horses. And if he somehow like bad mouths Coach Pittman in front of some of the players, like they might be like, fuck this guy.
yeah,
Because even though they didn't win with him, even though it wasn't a great, time, it's like there's probably still a few guys on the team that are like, I really like Sam Pittman.
yeah,
Like I
Yeah.
really like who he is. And
Yeah.
if Bobby's like, oh, he didn't know shit, or like the old way was terrible, we're on
Right.
a new way, like they could be
Right.
like, what the hell does that mean?
yeah.
If
It's a
that
delicate.
division happens, things go down real quick.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. Good pod. We just wanted to keep it short and sweet this week because we know that we still got a long season ahead of us with some big games and some 2-hour pods. So
That's
just
right.
wanted to jump on and just shoot the stuff for a minute. Go Vols, learn from it. Let's come out. Let's handle business early. Jump out on them and kind of keep that nice little gap the whole game. That's what I want. Do not let this be a fourth quarter game.
Please no.
Hey, brother.
All right, man. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are watching, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. If you're just listening, rate and review, download, re-download, follow us on all those listening platforms. Follow us on social media as well. Description is below. Very much appreciate you guys. Best fans in the world. Let's go take it to Arkansas this week. Let's get on past it. Get on to the big boy. But as always, go Vols.